Hello, everyone. My name is Brock Freiberger, and this is my partner.
Jay Patel. Hey guys.
And this is our project, MellowMind. It is a meditation app, and we are so excited to show you all about it today. So, first things first, we're going to go over a very simple overview. So, this is a mobile/web app that is designed to help users promote a mindful, relaxation, and mental wellness vibe through a series of simple daily practices. So, we chose this project because, as we know in the modern world, mental health issues are on a constant rise, aren't they, Jay?
Yes, they are.
And we wanted to help users create a practical and positive routine just for their everyday life, whether it's through simple breathing exercises, meditation, or something like writing in a journal. All these things are so good to promote that overall well being, which is exactly what we're looking for at Mellow Mind. So, first things first, we will be talking about the UML case diagram. Jay, would you please?
Of course. So here we have the entirety of the MellowMind app, which shows how the user connects to certain features and the pages that we've implemented. It shows how the user can view a daily affirmation or start a meditation session, track a mood, or write in their journal, or maybe even start a breathing exercise.
Awesome. And then next, we're going to talk about the UML class diagram. So, the mindfulness app is the main starting point, which is our main file. So, our main Dart file actually connects all of the different routes, which are different pages throughout our website. So, as you can see, what the main mindfulness app does is it declares, maybe the dark mode, and then it seeds it into all of the different routes. So the main route is the home page. As you can see, home equals homepage, and that is the central route. And then all those routes point into our different pages: breathing, meditation, mood, journal, affirmation, as you see. And those are all connected through the keys in our homepage. So it's basically like a big hive mind where the main controls, and it all acts as or the homepage acts as that central main menu, you could say. And from there, as I said, the users can select the different pages from the homepage. So on that front, we're going to start with the main.dart, which is our central nervous system, as you could think of it. So the main file defines the global navigation structure of our app. And as you can see from the code snippet, it's exactly that. So all we do is in the widget is, declare the title and declare the um, seed color. So you can see we did the color right away at the top, and then we um, added the theme below the title and made that our central app is through the main file, and then below it is all the routes with it, which is the breathing, meditation, mood, journal, and affirmations. And then we will talk about the pseudocode of the main, and this is what we use to kind of build it. We were kind of thinking based on this. So, like I already said, it's a main stateful widget, which is declares our seed colors and the dark mode, and then all the routes for all the different pages, and then the actual build. So this is our homepage.dart, which is our navigation system. And the homepage is basically the control center for the brain of the main. So the users can quickly see and update their progress on the mindfulness goals on the right hand side, which is like the daily checklist. And then on the left hand side, they can navigate throughout all the different pages. And we actually use shared preferences to store the user's data based on what they select on all those different fronts. So as you can see in the code snippet on the top left is our um, daily checklist on that right hand side. So you can complete the breathing exercise, complete the meditation session, and log the daily journal. And those are all set to false until the user actually changes their set data, and then it will update to the shared preferences and save locally. And then on the other code snippet is actually us declaring the keys for all of those different checklist ideas. So here's our pseudocode, same exact thing I just said. So it starts with a state, all those declaring keys, then our functions, which declares the keys to having a false value until the user changes it, and then the UI. So this is our wireframe, and we went based off this for our actual project. So we love this idea, and we tried to follow it as closely as possible for our homepage. So next is our breathing page, and the breathing page is just one of the pages for our app. And we kind of designed each page as a different app, didn't we, Jay?
Yes, we did.
So the breathing page, it kind of guides the user through a inhale, hold, exhale exercise. So it kind of follows that kind of breathing app you see on most things, and it makes it very accessible because it's very simple and easy to follow, and that's what we wanted. We wanted it straightforward for all users, so any person can use it no matter where they are in their mental health journey. So in our little code snippet here, this is actually the animated container, and you'll see in the pseudocode in just a second. What we did here is we attacked this very simply. We made it a if else, and we basically applied size changes based on what value the breathing exercise is currently in. If that's inhale, if that's exhale, whatever it may be, that's what we use to actually change the size. And then this animated container is actually what contains all of that data and actually makes, that animation look good. So here's our pseudocode, and it is, as you can see right at the top, it's that state, and that's declaring the timer for the actual app. And then the cycle is what I was saying earlier, basically a bunch of if statements that if it is, 0, that's probably inhale, 1 is hold, 2 exhale, and that will change the sizes depending on what it is, and that is what controls that animation. And this is what we were kind of going on for our wireframe for the breathing exercise portion. We were kind of doing like a circle ring that you have to follow, but we like the idea of seeing like the actual animation of getting bigger and getting smaller because it kind of makes you want to follow along. So now we have the meditation page.
All right. The next feature we implemented was the meditation page. It's an integrated sound therapy and timing control to create an immersive experience for the users where they can press start and start a timed session, which will start playing background music. And we believe this feature really helps people take a timed break and relax and reset their mind. And in the coding snippet, you can see the try block, which allows people to stop and play music. And below in the timer, we can see when right there, we can see where the audio will cut off right when the timer also stops. Here we have the pseudocode for the meditation page where you can see the first thing is the state, which declares the seconds, how many seconds are left, and the timer. Then we have the start, which starts the timer and it plays the music. We also have the stop feature where users can stop the music at any time. And then we have a really simple UI. Here's the original wireframe that we used. We liked what we did here, and you'll see later on that we kept it real basic. And yeah.
All right, so back to me. This is our mood page. So the mood page is, I mean, I think it's probably our most creative, I would say, because we kind of took all the elements from the class projects we've already done and tried to put it all in one inclusive app. So we took our slider and we took our save states and we took the date and we took the UI controls and we kind of shoved it all into one. So it's basically an interactive slider that you can declare, how you're feeling with it throughout the day. If that's sad, if that's all right, if that's happy, whatever it may be, it will save that locally and with a date timestamp so you can come back and see how you were doing on this certain day and, relive your progress. So here's the pseudocode for that. So, like I was saying, we declared the states. So the moods are sad, all right, happy. And then we had the slider have integer values of 0, 1, 2. So 0 being sad, 2 being all right, or 1 being all right. You get the point. And then we did a logging system where it takes the date and then the mood and puts it all down there and then saves it locally into our UI that we have made consistent throughout all the different pages. So this was our original idea in the wireframe, simple slider with just smiley faces. basically depicting where you are at in that day. And you'll see what we actually updated on this. And now we have the journal page.
All right. The next thing we implemented was a journal page, which is probably my favorite feature that we've implemented. The journal page provides a digital space for the users for self-reflection and emotional expression, where they can jot down their own thoughts and experiences and view them in a chronological order, and being able to see how their mental thought process has changed over time. We've also implemented a option for the users to delete any old notes as a notion of letting go. And in the right on the Snow code snippet, you can see the functions for loading, saving, adding any of notes that you want as well. Next, we have the pseudocode for this journal. As the top, you can see the state and where we declare the journal key for the journal entries. We have the options to, since we're using shared preferences, where it loads the journal page. You can and it saves all that you write in the journal entry, and it also allows users to add a new entry, delete an entry, and then we have a very simple UI at the top where it says journal. And yeah, I'll show you later in the next slide with the
Yeah.
wireframe.
Yeah, I think you'll notice that our UIs are very similar throughout the different pages.
Boom. Wireframe, we kept it nice and simple where you can create a new journal entry, but at the same time, you can view all your past journal entries with the date timed right there, and you can expand and see what you wrote that day. Boom. Next thing we have is the affirmations page. The affirmations page is a powerful tool that can help users with their shifting mental mindset and building self-belief. This page presents one quote at a time, right in the dab middle of the screen in a large centered text block. Users can also shuffle through different quotes if they don't like that one for that day. On the right in the code snippet, you can see the load and rotate, and in that, users can, as I said before, see one quote, but if they're not interested in that quote or if that quote is not helping them, they can shuffle through others. Here's the pseudocode for the affirmations page. It's just like I said earlier. We have the state and we have the data with which has all the quotes that we've loaded into the application. We have the load and rotate, which I talked about earlier, which where we use shared preferences to store a quote per one quote per day. But if we also have the actions for the shuffle now, if users don't like it, they can switch another quote.
All right, on to the demo. This is MellowMind. This is our app. This is basically everything you want in the app. So on the right hand side, like we talked about on that home page, it's all of our exercises that we have for the day. So we're going to follow these daily objectives to basically map out our demo. So we have our quote at the bottom, and our first exercise is to complete a breathing exercise. So let's go on that first. So first we have our breathing exercise. So we're going to start this now. So let's start. Let's inhale and a hold, and then eventually it will lead us to the exhale. And that will continue for as long as you want. And you saw that animation, you saw everything that went into that, and that's exactly what it is. And once we complete that, we're going to check off that daily objective. Now, let's go do a meditation session. So, here's our meditation session. Let's do a 1 minute session. We're going to start this session, and it's going to put some comfortable music in the background that you can listen to while doing the session. And hopefully, this will relax you. Next, let's check that off. Next, we have our mood slider. So, this was our slider that we were talking about. So, we have sad, all right, and happy. So I'm feeling very happy today. So let's go to happy and let's log that today. So we have a 1026 log for happy, and we're going to exit that. And if we go back into that, that's going to save to our thing locally. So we can come back to that slider anytime we want. And journal, let's talk about that too. Let's Make a journal entry. So here's our project, and it will save the time, it will save the date, and that is something we can come back to anytime. And you can make as many journal entries as you want. So this is something we wanted to have so that the user could continually come back and actually, view their old journal entries no matter how many they put down. So we're going to check that off. And finally, we have our daily affirmation, which is today it's I am present and I am grounded. But say we don't like that quote, we give the user the ability to try to change it around, and it's a random, of our many quotes, and it will keep them hopefully in the right mindset. So this one is I inhale calm and exhale stress. And this is our app MellowMind. So we hope you enjoyed, and I know from me and Jay, stay calm.
Yeah. Don't accumulate any stress.
All right, thanks guys.